Have you ever had like Bridezillas? Like,
girl.
You know? Let's jump to the good part.
You're gonna hear me say wedding planners because I had issues with wedding planners as well.
Yeah.
People make it bridezillas, but wedding planners too had their own issues.
The pot.
Yes. So she basically took the money.
Oh my god, the planner stole the money. You're lying.
I wish I was not lying.
Yeah.
So to lose that, nah. She the asshole. So
Yeah. Point blank period.
this babe came out. She had gone over her makeup with some yellow powder. I don't understand. She had overlined her lips. I don't know whether she used like a black lip liner instead of like a dark brown. It looks completely different. And she had used that same very almost black on her brows. So her brows now look like start your skin routine. Start your skin routine ASAP because I'm not comfortable with the fact that people tend to kind of almost depend on the makeup artist to give them good skin. Like, don't worry, when I book this makeup artist, my skin will be flawless.
No. So, hey guys, welcome back to the Bride's Room. It's your girl, Authentic Aisha. I'm back with another episode. And today we have a very, very special guest. I mean, all my guests are special, but you know, this one, guys, this one. We have Joy Adenuga in the building. How are you, Joy? How are you doing?
Good. And you?
So, I'm good, guys. And I'm good, Joy. So some of you may know, be very, very familiar with exactly who this is. But Joy, just for those who, they might have seen your face or they may have never heard of you before, introduce yourself, let us know who you are, why. Yeah, just let us know who you are, really.
Okay, so my name is Joy Adenuga. I'm a celebrity makeup artist. I've been in the industry for just over 15 years. So I started in editorial, believe it or not. Yeah, most people don't know this, but I started in the editorial world. Then I went commercial, bridal. I think I kind of stayed in bridal for the longest time. I was in bridal for like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Then I won't say I came off because I still do bridal, but more or less thanks to COVID. Girl, COVID hit me. Oh, Lord, COVID hit me.
And I'm going to save that as a topic in a second.
Oh, yeah, it reset my brain. Let's just put it that way. So it was during COVID I decided to just kind of, instead of being known as the bridal makeup artist, I wanted to go back to my original title, which is a makeup artist.
Point blank period.
Yeah, because once you start doing bridal, you get this label.
Yeah.
Bridal makeup artist. And for some strange reason, you're put in a box. There's some jobs that come along which you can do with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
But she's just a bridal makeup artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like people view you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
it took me a long time to come out of that box.
Okay, so before we jump into the boxes and stuff, let's talk about how did you even get into makeup in the beginning, in the first place? Because I think it would be really good to know that.
Okay. So my story is actually not your usual story where people are like, I love wearing makeup on myself and people admire me. I'm the opposite. I hated wearing makeup on myself.
Wow.
I'm not, which is why I'm probably not on YouTube because I'm not cut out for that. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm quite different. So I preferred seeing my work on other people because I just felt like makeup on myself is boring.
Okay.
Same face, same texture. It's. I always use this as an example to people. You barely see artists paint themselves.
Speak on it.
Yeah. So it's more like, because that's the joy. Like, you don't know who's going to be on your chair the next day. Like, they could be, white, black, Asian. They could have round face. They could have oval face, different. Like, that's the joy.
But I guess, like, before, how did you get to the point of, like, how did you know that your work would look good on
I think,
someone's
first
face?
of all, I think it was when I was always doing makeup on my friends. So I was the official
makeup artist when you're going out.
But I end up looking like the housemaid because...
What?
Yeah, because it's like, just,
That's crazy.
Then... But back then, I was still back home in Nigeria. Yes, and then... You don't aspire to be a makeup artist then, because then a makeup artist was someone that sold Mary Kay, Avon,
wow.
And then I had a very good job then. I was a manager with Globacom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's more like going from manager
you
to
were like a corporate babe to like...
Yeah, corporate to selling Avon.
Makeup.
And I'm like, nah, that's not happening. It wasn't until I relocated to the UK.
Okay.
Then I discovered a lady called Pat McGrath. Sam Fine.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay. And I would never forget because when I landed, this is like when I was relocating, because obviously my parents were here. So I was always visited.
Yeah.
I think it was my dad who was running late. So I went into a W.H. Smith store and there's this magazine, Black Beauty and Hair magazine. It's like old school. They've closed down now. No, they've not closed down. It's Blackhead that closed down. Black Beauty and Hair still in circulation. And I opened it and I was just like, one day.
Really?
Yeah, I finished with that one. I took Elle magazine, I was just looking, I'm like, one day my name is going to be in this magazine.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Yeah, and the industry was quite different from back, obviously now Nigeria is completely thing now. Everyone's a makeup artist now. But back then, when I came here, the market was different. So the problem I had then was because Pat McGrath and Sam Fine were completely two different industries. So Pat McGrath was like high fashion, editorial, catwalk, while Sam Fine was quite commercial. So then I wasn't sure
which part you want to go down.
But girl, Pat McGrath.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm wearing the foundation today. I can tell you. I don't know if it looks good, but I've been wearing it for a few hours and I really love the makeup. So yeah. Okay, so that is amazing. So you went down the route of Pat McGrath. You became a makeup artist. You've wiggled your way into not wiggled your way, but you worked your way into the industry, and now, you definitely made your name from then to now. Definitely, we can agree that you've made a name for yourself. Because it's a bride's room, let's fast forward to when you became a bridal makeup artist, and what was that experience like?
For that, I think when it was when I had my wedding, when I got married. I think that is where that started from. I was already curious about makeup and everything, but I got this lady, I hired this lady to do my makeup. Her name is Kemi Kings. She's also a very, big makeup artist. I don't know if your audience will know, but Kemi King, she's like an amazing makeup artist. So she did my wedding makeup.
Oh, nice.
And obviously I was obsessed with her work. I was always going on her. I'm like, oh my God. And her style was quite unique. And she used to do a lot of traditional weddings, white weddings, and everything. So after my wedding, I sent her a message. I said, look, you know what? You've made me obsessed with bridal.
But how did you do that? Because I'm assuming this was way before Instagram, right?
That's
what I'm saying. Like, okay, how did you see the work?
Yeah, this was Facebook. This was Facebook era. This was definitely Facebook era.
Okay.
Yeah, this was Facebook era because she had like pages where you go on her Facebook page and you see like all the amazing, stunning looking brides she had done. So I reached out to her. So I even trained under her.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happened is, for editorial commercial, I went to London School of Makeup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My problem with the school then was
not enough blacks.
Yeah.
You can only
there was no black models.
I can imagine,
I wasn't so when I went to her, she used like a black model to, so that was where I started. but even at then, I was still back and forth, back and forth. I would say the turning point for bridal was probably when I had my children.
And how long ago is that? You said your oldest is about 4?
Yeah, my oldest is 14 because back then I was struggling with my full day job. At one point, I remember one month I was working Monday all the way to Sunday. Like I'll go to my usual job Monday to Friday, then Saturday there'll be a wedding.
No
Sunday
days
I'll go
off.
to no days off and
Damn.
everything. Then I got pregnant with my second child, and I'm like,
You have to pick now, isn't it?
yeah. What
You
I
have
would
to
say
pick.
is like with my kids, I think I've always had my kids because when I was training at London School of Makeup, I was 6 months pregnant.
My God. You know what? I feel like this story is kind of, because that's kind of like my podcasting story as well. I've been pregnant the whole time.
Same here. I think I've been pregnant the whole time.
I've been pregnant and
I've been
the whole time.
the whole time because I took in 6 months into my wedding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'd always, and the whole, So, you know, when you get married, you sit down with your husband in the evening talking about your future goals. You're going to buy a house. You're going to have 10 children. I was talking about makeup.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, girl,
be so for real right now.
Girl.
Be so for real right now.
But to be fair to him, he did say, you know what, why don't you exploit? Because I don't want a situation where like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, you have, like, you know what, I wish I had gone through that door.
Yeah.
So I rather you do it doesn't work out.
And then you know it wasn't
your calling than to like not do it at all. So he actually encouraged me, like, just try it.
This story sounds so familiar.
Yeah. So that's how I registered.
Okay, I feel like I'm on the right track, but I don't know if I'm going to keep this in, but I feel like this is my story right now. So that's so interesting to hear that. Okay, so let's talk about, you worked your way into the industry, you became a bridal makeup artist. It's fantastic. You're here now. Great. Now, let's talk about, because were you continuing bridal makeup post the pandemic? No, pandemic?
No, I think it started
pre-pandemic.
To be fair, I think I would say 6 months before the pandemic, I started kind of dwindling down.
Okay.
I'd contacted she's like a
agency.
So we were kind of already working on changing my profile. At least Fifi. So we're already working on changing my profile, trying to move away from the bridal, because I realized that a lot of jobs, I was losing them because of that bridal tag. Like, but she's a bridal makeup artist. We want someone that doesn't. And my argument then is like the kind of makeup, or rather the kind of makeup I do.
Yeah.
Take the veil off.
That's what I'm saying. Bridal makeup eats. And it's expensive.
Yeah,
it's more expensive than the whatever's going on in those magazines or a day-to-day function.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm like, take the veil off. Wear evening dress. What is the difference?
And that's the thing, I think. Okay, so when you got boxed into bridal, how did you find that? Because I can imagine it being very, very frustrating. Being frustrating. In that position.
Even till now.
You still get boxed into it.
I still get called the bridal makeup artist.
I mean, when you
I
have a legacy,
feel it's an insult at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like I've, not to call names or something, I've been in a room where like it was like a flippant remark. I said, "Oh, you're here!" Like, oh my God, the bridal makeup artist has now.
Oh, it's like really?
Exactly, and I'm like that sounded more like an insult to me,
it's
like very patronizing,
condescending.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm taking it came from another MUA.
Yes.
Very interesting.
I know.
Very interesting that MUAs think that there are hierarchies in the. So for context, I was once upon a time an aspiring makeup artist myself.
Okay.
So I kind of
that your makeup eats. I was like, girl,
I'm trying. I gave up as well in the pandemic. I just started just before, but I gave up eventually.
I'm sorry, just to bring you back to the part where I said about the whole boxing thing. There was a client of mine, a celebrity I was working on. I think it was like press junket. So I wasn't available on the morning she wanted me, and she was like, "Oh, can I recommend somebody?" And it was intentional. I got her someone that was known as a bridal makeup artist. And she was like, "Oh my God, Joy, it's a bride." I said, no, I need to correct that.
Makeup is makeup.
I need to correct that impression. So I contacted my very good colleague, Yeye's bride, and everything, because I'm like that, because I suffered it where don't book her because she does bridal. I said, no, I'm going to get somebody that is known for bridal to do this job, to prove a point that just because you're doing bridal doesn't mean you can't work on somebody else.
And you know, it's so crazy that you say this, because and I'm going to connect the two. When I was like I would literally look up to yourselves, and like even like the Hadassah, like I would look up to you guys as like, wow, like these are the makeup artists. And yes, you were bridal makeup artists, but the makeup to me was eaten every single time. It's so crazy that like I was looking up, but then you are in some way being snubbed. By the industry, and I find
I
that
wouldn't say I was snubbed by the industry. I would just say like it's just, yeah, I don't understand that box. Like once you get in, which is why I got that lady Fifi, and I'm like, look, I need to go back to my original title, which is I'm a makeup artist. I'm a pro makeup artist. Even magazines, when they'll contact me for quotes, they'll put quote by the bridal makeup artist, and I'm like, sis, can you delete, replace it with pro, replace the bridal with pro makeup artist. And the quote is for something that has absolutely nothing to do with bridal. But just to tell you how bad it was at that period, like I'll give a quote regarding some lipstick that some celebrity wore, and the next thing they were like, quote by bridal makeup artist Joy Adenuga. So I'll have to send a message like, could you replace the bridal with pro makeup artist?
That's really good though, and I can confirm that as an outsider looking on the inside, it does look like things are changing. I saw the YSL event the other day, and a lot of these I don't want to use because it.
I know, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's
I saw you guys all there, like all different types of makeup.
I wasn't there though. I wasn't there for this.
Oh, the
last YSL. I went for the L'Oreal one, but no, the original YSL event, I was there, but this last one, I wasn't there. And I wasn't there for
nice
this last one. Oh, it is. Oh, they were all there.
It was so nice to see that, and I really like that. Like you kind of started that movement, like silently, you know. Okay, so then when you were taking bookings, because, my thing is I like to talk about the bridal experience. So I don't know what it was like pre-pandemic, because I got married just after the pandemic, but I know the industry is intense right now. When you were taking bridal bookings, what was that experience like? Have you ever had like Bridezillas? Like,
girl.
Let's jump to the good parts, okay?
Well, I think with me, I would say is from my side, my experience was more like a stepping stone. Like, I don't think a lot of brides, and you're going to hear me say wedding planners, because I had issues with wedding planners as well. Yeah, because the thing is, people make it Bridezillas, but wedding planners too had their own issues.
The pot.
Yes. So I too have beef with, coming to TikTok soon.
So wedding planners were stirring the pot?
I would say stirring the pot, but most times it's not even the brides, even the wedding planners I had issues with a lot of wedding planners. So I would say a lot of stuff that was done to me or I had to experience. First of all, this generation of makeup artists will not put up.
What's going on back in the day?
Yeah, first of all, they wouldn't put up. And don't forget, there wasn't really social media then.
Yeah.
So people were not calling out.
There was no stories.
There was no stories. Thank you. People were not calling, because some of the things I had to go through. Now, people would literally, dedicate a whole day to just calling wedding planners, brides, calling everybody out. Okay,
so let's talk about from the POV of a pro bridal and pro makeup artist. Let's talk about from your POV how because that friction clearly has historically always been there. How or what things were done? Because that's what I really want to know. What things, is it miscommunication? Is it like they're like, no, the bride said she wants this, but the bride actually didn't say that?
I said then. We did not realize the importance of having a good contract. I think that's where the problem started. We just were kind of depending on common sense.
Which is not common.
Exactly. We're now, as the years, we're like, okay, it's common sense and common.
It's not common.
Yeah, we need to then obviously want to do your contract yourself. And the thing is, I almost feel like every booking, I'll come back and add something to the contract. Because when I say common, like there was a post I put on TikTok regarding, I think you even responded, something about
the contract. I saw that.
Yeah, the contract. And this is where I say common sense and common, because I was going to do a post, and I'm still going to do a post because the word accommodation triggers me.
Why does it trigger you? Let's get into that.
Yeah, because what is accommodation?
Exactly. I feel like this is there's a meme where like anyway, he's cancelled. I think you know
what is accommodation? That's what I'm asking you. What is accommodation?
So to me, I just want to be very, very clear to all the listeners. I speak for the reasonable, rational bride. That's always my POV. I'm never too extreme on either end. I'm always like, neutral. So for me, accommodation would be a nice place to stay where you can eat breakfast, definitely at least. You have a room that's not like got damp or anything like that, but just, warm, depending on where you are. I'm using a destination bride hat on, and close to where I am on the day as a bride.
Okay.
Doesn't meet your expectations.
No, because
Okay.
my first destination wedding, please tell me how I arrived. They took me to the room where I was sleeping. And I had been designated the couch in the bridesmaid's room to sleep.
Okay.
That is accommodation by law.
Some people get cheeky with it, isn't it?
That's why I would never, if you're listening to me and you're a makeup artist, take out the word accommodation.
So
take it out.
But what word would you use though?
Hotel.
Even
hotel, I would indicate the stars.
Yeah, no, every contract
because
I had 4-star.
they will put you on a 1-star, because that's what I'm saying. You have to be very specific.
But it's I'm gonna be honest here. It's a bit frustrating. I don't want to say the word frustrating, but I got married in Mykonos.
Okay.
Everywhere in Mykonos is nice. So 3-star in Mykonos is probably 5-star somewhere else.
3-star in Dubai is like 5-star.
You get it? So
That's what I'm saying is, unfortunately, we have to do things, because I'm talking from someone that is because I'm married.
Yeah.
So I know it's expensive.
Yeah.
So believe me, when I'm dealing with brides, I'm not just dealing as a professional. I understand.
Yeah.
And I always tell people I've been married twice. My original wedding, then renewal. Because renewal, I had to get hit with how much prices of things cost.
Okay, so how much was your wedding makeup when you first got married?
We're talking about 15 years ago. I can't remember how much I paid.
I feel like you remember if it hit you. I feel like you would remember if it was painful.
Yeah, no, it wasn't, because it wasn't that. I don't think it was that expensive. Like now, when I got hit with photography and everything. So that's what I'm saying. Now I'm a lot more sympathetic, so I wouldn't be like a diva. But why would you book a makeup artist or arrange for her to sleep on a couch in your bridesmaid's room?
No, that is mad, and that I don't agree with.
That's what I'm saying. But by law, that is accommodation.
And I guess it even gets a bit more techie if you've gone abroad, because it depends on the law of the land in which you're in, right?
Yep. I've had a bride.
You got stories for days.
Accommodation again. She booked me to stay in an air. I had to take out money and book somewhere else to stay in an Airbnb. I'm the only woman in the house. It was just men in the house.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
We're talking about maybe 6-7 years or something. That's what I'm saying. A lot of stuff I started with. Yeah. Like now it won't even run
Yeah,
past.
that's the thing.
So again, in my head, I thought, I said accommodation. No, because when I got back from the whole couch thing, I was like, no shared. I put don't share.
Yeah.
Only for the next one that I'm
all men.
Yeah, all men, but you don't share a room. So it's like, so I'm saying, like,
dangerous.
Like you're trying to tweak it, but they're still looking for loopholes. Yeah. And I've been to weddings where, bless the bride, they've organized, and this is where I get into wedding planners.
Oh God, what happened?
So the bride, again, I didn't know all this. Like the truth came out when let me start from the beginning. Yeah. The bride was like, don't worry, the wedding planner, so they had arranged for all the vendors to arrive in Italy. No, Italy. Italy on the same day. Then there'll be a bus that will take all of us. So when we got to the place, we're looking around the venue. We're in a farm.
In Italy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were in a farm.
Was it a barn type of wedding?
No.
It's just a farm.
Yeah, they put all of us on a farm.
Like to stay?
Yeah, to stay. Myself, the hairstylist, the DJ, photographer, all of us. So
I'm let me chill on this episode, because usually, guys, I'm usually team bride. But when I think as well, we also have to out people that do these kind of things because it's not fair on the normal people like me that have to go. People like me have to get the brunt of how you guys behave there after your traumatizing experience. Does that make sense?
But then I think because it was like a shared experience, so it's like, okay. You know, again, in my head, when I get back home, I have to go and put no farm in my contract, and everything. So how the truth came about was, I think, was actually on the wedding day.
Yeah.
I was doing the bride's makeup in the morning, and I think the dad strolled in. I was just, playing with us. I was like, so these are the people from London. I want to come and finish my money. You know what? We put you. So in my mind, I was like,
huh?
Then he was like, yeah, you guys are staying, and I can't remember the name. We are staying, like we put you up in this hotel. And I was like, me and the hairstylist looked at ourselves. We're like,
no.
Huh? I was like, yeah, all of you are staying there. Like, the brides are like, oh my God, yes, that's it. Did you guys love the spa? I heard the spa is really good. And
sorry.
It's okay. So me and the hairstylist were pinching ourselves. Should we say anything? Should we say anything? I was like, nah.
Not now.
Yeah, exactly. Wrong timing and everything. That is not there. So so what has she? So she basically took the money.
Oh my God, the planner stole the money. You're lying.
I wish I was not lying.
The planner stole the money and kept it to themselves.
Yeah.
And
again, I don't know what happened because after the wedding, I told the bride what happened.
And I feel like a lot of this happens. A lot of like the miscommunication is from those middle people, even down to coordinators sometimes as well on the day.
Yeah, which is why in my contract, I now say that anything that involves payment, I'm dealing directly with the bride.
And I prefer to work like that as well.
I deal with that logistics.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, I can deal with the wedding planner. But when it comes to
money,
like my payment, like, because I hate on the day of the wedding, where's my balance? I prefer to just arrive ready to work and stuff like that. Then I go, I've actually had a wedding planner try to cancel a wedding.
Cancel a whole wedding?
A whole wedding.
How?
So there were 2 points to this wedding. I think that wedding made me start looking at. Sorry, I'm not against wedding planners. I have wedding planners I love, like yourselves, like. But I've worked with some that if the bride tells me they're using them, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that wedding. Or I will just work directly with you. So this wedding planner, I noticed the wedding planner was very abrasive with me because she booked me directly, then handed my details over to the wedding planner. Okay. There's a guy. So the guy, I noticed anytime he called me, he was kind of abrasive, very rude. I was like, have we met in another life? Like, what is going on and stuff like that? Before we now discovered that the bride didn't use any of his preferred vendors. He normally takes a commission. But the bride had insisted that makeup and hair, she prefers, me, and I think it was Chari's hair.
Okay.
So we had instead that she wanted Joy and she wanted Chari's hair, and he wasn't happy.
It's non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. So he wasn't happy. Then I think they fell out and he tried to cancel the wedding. He succeeded in, I think he was able to cancel the venue for was it the pre-wedding thing? Then
where's this bride? I need her to come and tell her story right now.
Then I think he tried to cancel the wedding venue as well. We succeeded. So I think they did half the wedding. Yeah, they did half the reception at the original one. Then they had to leave
before the finishing time.
Yeah, they had to leave. And how she found out, I think when he cancelled the location, they had sent, because obviously the bride had made and so they sent her those feedback forms. We're so sorry to see you go. Can you put 5-star if you like our? So she was like, "What are you talking about? What cancellation? What star?" Like, "Oh, we just received an email that I want to cancel, so we've given the booking to somebody else."
No, she must have been crying her eyes out.
Girl,
she must have been. Both of them, to be honest. Yeah. And I can imagine, fair enough, that the price of weddings have inflated, but I can imagine
that was a very expensive venue. I won't say where it was.
If she had a planner, she's clearly got money, because the rest of us are DIY brides.
No. So that's why I said, I've dealt with some, and I won't lie, I think dealing with all that, wedding planners, bridezillas and everything, I think at one point they're getting to me.
Really?
Which is why I'm like, dealing with this day in, I won't say I think the problem with dealing with unpleasant brides, wedding planner, unpleasant weddings is you tend to now forget the good ones.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, there's some brides that I'm friends with till date.
Yeah.
Some brides that have come into my life and they've just been amazing.
A blessing.
I've actually had a bride. Her wedding day was my wedding anniversary, and she told me I should bring my husband.
Oh, so you guys can enjoy it.
She booked us a honeymoon suite.
You see, I love.
Even thinking about it, I want to cry. Like things like that. Like I could not. She was like, "Oh my God, you're getting married on my wedding day." I was like, "Yes, yeah,
Let's celebrate."
She had a limo come pick us from the airport.
Do you know how beautiful that is? And you know, like, I just feel like it's so frustrating. And I think it's really good that you're shedding light on those kind of experiences because, like I just said, it's people like her and I think myself, I think I'm a good client. We get the brunt of it.
Yeah.
And I really wish. Well, anyway, I have good relationship with all my vendors, actually, to be fair. But the ones I had to interact with, no. But like, I just wish that was the experience for like every vendor and every. Like, why can't it just be like that?
I think the bad ones just come and just ruin
everything
everybody.
for everybody.
Like, just like I don't want to work with brides again. I don't want to do that.
Like, what's wrong?
It's horrible. Like it just makes the amazing brides. You forget those experiences.
You forget the experiences. The cost goes up because obviously, like if you're going to go through that kind of trauma, it definitely has to be worth the money. I can imagine for yourself.
I won't lie. It's sometimes some things are not worth the money.
ROI is not even worth it.
No,
it's not making sense.
No. I've pulled out. I've pulled out from a lot of weddings.
Really?
Once the red flags are flagging, I start like, okay, let me give you an instance. There was this bride. Have you been to Greece before?
Yeah, Greece.
Yeah, that's where you got married.
Yeah.
How many hours is it to Greece?
From the UK is about 3 hours maximum.
Please tell me why this bride booked me on a 7-hour flight to Greece.
What, connecting flight?
Yeah. And in my contract, it says one way, except there's literally no way of, because obviously there's some countries you can't, there's no direct flight. But I'm like, Greece, there's a direct flight. And so basically, somebody would get like, I was like, so what that means I'm flying longer than I would have to fly to over Nigeria.
It's like a working day as well.
Yeah, and everything. And then with the whole suitcase and changing planes and everything. So I'm like, I'm sorry.
What was her excuse for doing that?
She was like, well, all my vendors are this, you're the only one complaining. I said, because if, God forbid, if my suitcases get missing, would you...
That's a lot of makeup.
Yeah, would you replace everything? So I said, I'm sorry, I will not. Like, if I can't get a direct flight, unfortunately, I won't be going ahead. Because what I've learned is, once you say yes to the first red flag, more flags are going to come up.
Really?
Because that wedding, I won't say who the vendors were, but they both called me and told me it was one of the most horrible experiences they had. The bride put them to sleep in the kitchen on a camping bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. They slept in the kitchen.
I feel like today vendors are up one, brides we are down today because what is this?
Yeah, what is that? So I've learned at the beginning, once the red flags are popping up at the beginning, I just don't go with it at all. Because I almost feel like once you say yes, I almost feel like sometimes they're saying how much bullshit.
Yeah, you can
they
take
get away.
But you know what? I just think some people just can't handle the stress of just like, I would imagine at the time when you were, when you were in the wedding industry, nobody was talking about when you just started talking about this.
Yeah, which is why,
recently.
if you noticed, recently, because I think the thing is, I'm mentoring a couple of makeup artists, and I think the kind of things they are sharing with me is making me more outspoken because it's coming out of anger. Like I went through this. Obviously, nobody was talking because nobody was like, I don't want to be known as a problematic makeup artist. I don't want to be talking and everything. But if no, like okay, for example, there was this video I put out where I was like, why do they keep interrupting the makeup artist's time? I noticed nobody was talking about him. So even some wedding planners thought it was okay. They were literally scheduling it because they thought it was okay.
To interrupt the makeup artist?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So basically the groom's gifts, they bring it when the bride is having her makeup done. So you have to stop.
Yeah.
They will film.
Yeah.
They will video.
Yeah.
They will get bridesmaids to come in, take pictures. Then the next thing, wedding planner will come, you've got 5 minutes. You'll be like, they just took out 30 minutes from my 2 hours or 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Now you're rushing me.
Yeah. So now you've taken a whole chunk, but you're giving me 5 minutes to catch up. You know, so so because nobody was complaining, it kept on going ahead. So I had to come out and do something. I said, people
No,
don't
it's
like
good.
it. And
It's annoying even from a bridal perspective as
Yeah.
well, because I've paid for this. So I want to get
And
every
guess what?
minute's worth.
And guess what? The wedding I had, I think, was it 2 days or something? Literally, I think I didn't realize they saw my TikTok. So,
What did they say?
yeah, so they were like, "Oh, please
We
don't
told
want to
her
interrupt
already.
Joy." No,
But that's good. No,
don't want to
that's
interrupt.
good.
And I love the fact that loads of makeup artists were talking as well. I
That's
said, "You guys have
good.
to say it."
No, it's good.
Because if you don't speak out, they will think it's acceptable.
No, but I think your delivery is good. I will say that. Because
Okay.
I've seen people speak out and it's like, nah.
no, it's
I won't be going with you.
yeah, no, it's more or less kind of like it's not right.
Yeah.
So it's like because I just feel like if something is not right, you have to speak up. Like if you notice that, like I gave that example. The makeup artist definitely made a mistake with the whole clarity and everything.
Yeah.
So they both had their fault.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say because I'm a makeup artist, I'm going to, it's the bride's fault or something. She had her fault.
But let's give context to the people that didn't see that TikTok. So guys, Joy put out a TikTok recently where, what was it? Actually, maybe you can explain.
What would you do in this situation? So I've just got off the phone with a makeup artist. So this is the story. It's a destination wedding, everything okay. They've booked her, contract signed, everything is okay. Time to book flights, sort out airport transfer. The bride is saying she's only covering flights because the contract stipulates travel. And travel to her is just flights to the destination. She and the bride have been going back and forth. So she's obviously called me, and the bride is insisting because it wasn't mentioned in the contract that travel should involve all this. She has just assumed it's just flights. And the bride is like, it's common sense. Once you're traveling, you have to cover my taxi. You have to cover my airport transfer and everything. So I'm bringing it to TikTok. Who is in the wrong? The makeup artist for not mentioning what travel covers, or the bride for being cheeky and assuming travel is just flights?
So basically, because I do consultation one-on-one with makeup artists, beauty, whatever. So they call me. It's not free, by the way.
Yeah.
They call me. Yeah, picking my brain for free.
Yeah.
So they call me and they kind of tell me what's going on. I kind of give them advice and everything. So I'm like, you know what? Do you mind if I do TikTok? I'll mention them and everything just to see. And I told her you have to go and see the comments as well. So. Destination wedding, straightforward. So the mistake the makeup artist made was she just put travel. She put travel. So the bride, seeing I won't say loophole, dog hole, the massive hole that she
like, gap.
the gap, massive hole she created in the contract, and decided to take the absolute mick. So time for I think balance payments, hotel and everything, and she just sorted out only flights.
But you know what? She only sorted out flights and
only flight. And she was like, "Well, you didn't add any other thing else."
Did you say that on the story? You didn't say that on the story, did you?
I did. I said
I thought it was because I interpreted that she paid for everything else, just not the travel from the.
No. She put travel. But she didn't say what travel entails. Like my contract, I put travel, but under it, I'll put flights, airport transfer, taxi
baggage
to the bride's hotel if we're not in the same location. But she just put travel. Nothing else.
Very vague.
No, exactly. Very vague. So the bride was like, well, my interpretation of travel is just flights.
The bride is brave though, because the makeup artist that come, then boy, that's on her.
So she was like, exactly. So I wouldn't say, because she's a makeup artist, I'm automatically on her side. Obviously, I told her, I said, look, next time, this is when you say travel, you have to expatiate.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't like the word accommodation, but I understand that there are some places where there's no hotel, it's Airbnb. So you can still put accommodation, but on that, you need to expatiate on what your accommodation means, because again, I always like to give the example of the couch. If you go, as much as the lawyer was like, that was cheeky, but by law, she still provided accommodation for you. So you need to be very careful of the kind of words. So you need to explain each context, even things like refundable, retainer. Like, I don't like using the word deposit personally.
Yeah, really?
I prefer the word retainer because deposit, you have to give it back.
So maybe there should be if maybe there's a legal person watching, it seems like there's a gap in the market here.
Yeah.
For wedding contracts.
I think some people offer it.
Do
I
they
might be wrong. Some people
specify?
offer, yeah. I don't like using the
think
word
so.
because deposit by law, you have to refund that.
But the thing is, yeah, like, and just to touch on that story that you were speaking about, I know, like, there's a lot of things where, like, you guys feel like, oh, as brides, we're taking the mick. But there's some things I'm kind of like, but no, like, you guys are taking them, and I'm not saying specifically
No,
yourself.
go ahead.
But I'm just saying, like, for example, because we're in the remit of makeup, in this day and age, a bride is I'll speak for myself, if I add all the makeup I spent across my I probably spent about maybe 3K when we add everything up together. From travel to this to that to like both the makeup artists and, you know, talented, they deserve it. Great. But my thing is, there's little things that I see, especially from younger or newer makeup artists, copying the more established ones that it really irks my soul. But
Like what? Give me an example.
okay, so for example, first things first, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers will agree, a lot of the time I don't feel like the price for, you'll pay £65, let's just say, or maybe let's say £100 now, £100 for, you know, your average makeup to go to a party. When it comes to weddings, that price inflates. I get it, it's a luxury experience, there's a premium on top, but I do feel like the ROI is highly significant. That's my opinion.
Okay. No. I'm not arguing with you.
But then there's little things, like, for example, in that specific topic, when the person was saying that they don't want to pay for their taxi from their house to the airport. So if I'm going to pay for everything, because I think about with a corporate hat on, if let's say my company sends me to Manchester, they're not going to pay for my normal route, but they will pay for my route from, let's say, the airport to God knows wherever and cover everything else. Does that make sense? Am I making sense of what I'm saying?
I don't agree because
Really?
because as much as I want to say I work with celebrities, most times I'm working with the production company. So it's almost corporate in fact, because you have to submit invoices. And if I'm traveling with a celebrity, they cover from my house to the actual place I'm going to. So they'll cover taxi from my house to the airport because I don't live at the airport. I have to get to the airport. If I live in Heathrow, then that's a different story. So they cover my taxi to the airport. And that was one of the massive things I discovered when I started working non-bridal jobs, because I didn't have to scream or argue the fact that my travel had to be covered. They just asked, they say, please just make sure your travel, or they sort the travel for you.
Yeah. But because I'm just trying to say that the people that watch my podcast in particular, myself included, we are just the everyday working person. And so we're just going to use, even when we're interacting with you guys, the everyday working person's hat on, if that makes sense. So I'm sure most people's companies just don't pay for those little additional things, which obviously you guys will be like, well, this is a no-brainer. You should pay for my transport completely. And as well, because the price, I've already paid a premium. So if I had paid like the average makeup, let's say £100, fine. I'll pay for I would pay for myself, But I'm assuming because I've paid a premium, this would include everything. Does that make sense? So if I'm paying like an extra £700,
so
your £50 taxi should not be the end of the world, because you're making so much.
This is where I kind of am a bit different now, because now each other charges. Yeah. But everyone is hiding.
Still competing with each other.
Yeah, so it's more or less, if everybody is transparent, is how much you charge. Again, like, why, if this one is charging, let's say £100. Yeah. Why don't, if everyone is charging 100, it just be about whose skill. Yeah. Or whose type of makeup. Like, for example, people don't come to me if they want like full beats. If they want like, heavy, paint the house down or whatever. They come to me if they want like something like, soft subtle, makeup and everything. So like everyone, I'm not catering to that market. It's not a market I'm interested in. So just have your market, make sure your market is on point. And like if everyone knows how much you're charging, it actually makes it easy for everybody. Then the bride knows, okay, you know what? I've gone on everyone's website. It's between 100, 120, 100, 110 or something. So that is like the going rate. Yeah, no, but some people are just greedy. People don't want the going rate. They want the going rate plus times 2. But guess what? When you come into the celebrity world, for example, now like Netflix, they have like a standard fee. So what are you going to do? There's a standard fee. They pay everyone. Paramount, really? Amazon, they have like a standard fee. So with Bridal, it's like, why is everyone like, if we're more open, like everyone kind of not hide and everything, it makes the community even better. Exactly. It works both ways. It really makes the community better. either.
Well, I hope everybody listens to this podcast, and I hope those that are listening do take from this, and I do hope things change. I do, just by us having this conversation and agreeing to disagree, or even just like sharing our experiences. I really feel like a lot of people feel seen from an MUA perspective, but also from a bridal perspective.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can meet in the middle. I'm so annoyed I didn't say it. Let me see. Basically, there was a situation where there was a bride. Okay, I'm going to explain it to you anyway, and then I'll find the video later. But there was a situation where there was a bride who was planning her wedding, and she basically called into another podcast, and I'll credit them and everything after this video, saying that is she the asshole because her sister's missing her wedding. So her sister's missing her wedding because she had a miscarriage. She had a miscarriage, I think maybe like a few days or a week before the wedding. And so her sister said, look, I'm going through it right now. I'm not going to be able to make the wedding, just to let you know. She, as the bride, then lost it at her sister because she was like, what do you mean you're not going to be at my wedding? Like, you're meant to be there. I need you there kind of thing. You have to come to my wedding. The husband was like, can you just like back off your sister right now? We're going through it. Just leave us alone. And actually, we're not coming to the wedding, point blank, period. Like, we were considering it, but we're definitely not coming. Her parents then, I think her mum took sides with her sister. So she's like, trying to convince the sister, I would assume maybe she's the older sister, please, could you come to the wedding? And then her dad was saying to the bride, oh, just leave it, drop it. But the bride won't drop it. The bride is really, really angry that her sister can't come to the wedding. So she's wondering, is she the asshole because they are not coming to her wedding?
On the side of the sister that's not going.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, because losing a child, grief, is not something you wish on anybody. Like, I don't even know what it's like, but just ordinary burden.
Yeah.
So to lose that, nah. She
Yeah, point blank, period.
Yeah, no. You have to. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. As a bride, the thing is, when I'm thinking of myself as a bride twice. I think the only time I might have been a bridezilla was when my hairstylist was running late, and I kind of just threw a tantrum because she was late by like an hour or something, and that was it. I don't remember. And I think she was late because I think she was having issues with childcare. So I was like, just bring your child. I don't mind. Like, bring her.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why she was late.
Yeah. So I'm like, just bring her. Like, should I just, like, I don't mind. Because I was getting married. I was getting dressed at home. Obviously, the renew one, hell no.
Yeah.
Wait, did you go ready? No. Yeah, I got ready, I think, for the church ceremony, but the reception, I got ready in the hotel.
Okay.
And everything. So I think that was the only time. But yeah, we're talking about grief here. That's quite sensitive.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's putting a wedding over loss.
It's a tough one. It's not even a tough one. I'm not going to say the bride sounds young to me, and she sounds like she doesn't have any children yet.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
Clearly.
Yeah, if you have, or even there are some people that haven't had children,
but they're mature enough to understand.
Yeah, so she might not necessarily understand, but yeah, it's something you don't want to go through.
I know, and I just feel like this whole bridezilla thing. I don't understand how a wedding gets to the point where it consumes you so much that you lose all empathy and just like. Basic man.
Oh my God.
I don't understand it.
I've had a wedding where the bride fell out with all her bridesmaids. Yeah, because I ended up doing because most times that's what normally happens. You end up doing the bridesmaids. Their weddings. Especially if they really like your makeup on the bride.
Yeah.
So I think I did 3 out of the train, and she didn't come to any of their weddings. Obviously, the first one she was like, they don't think she will come. That they fell out. That she was.
Oh, they didn't come to be bridesmaids on the day of her wedding? Because
No, they were bridesmaids.
On the day?
Yeah, but
Okay.
she didn't come to any of their weddings. They fell out during her own wedding. So after her wedding, everyone cut off with her.
She was on her own.
Yeah, they cut off. To be fair, she was unbearable.
When you say unbearable, what kind of thing? Was it like this type of
Yeah,
dilemma?
she was very extremely fussy. Like she made them wear dresses they didn't want to wear. They were not comfortable with the kind of like some of them like being plus size and being forced. Like I know there was one of them. She didn't like her arm being exposed.
Yes.
And she was like, nope, you have to wear spaghetti top. And she's like, I'm very conscious. She was like, nope, if you're not wearing the dress, you can't be on my train.
But who do you
Yeah,
think
so
you are
stuff
to,
like that made them do a hairstyle stating or everyone. I was like, look, I don't wear middle part. I'm not comfortable. She's like, what is middle part or nothing?
Really?
Yeah, and she made them all wear some kind. Is this smoky? I didn't do the makeup though.
Yeah.
For
Disclaimer.
Yeah, some kind of wear. Because normally I'm used to brides wanting the bridesmaids to look
Uniform.
like simple, like not too much. But this crazy makeup with the lashes, she even bought the lashes for.
Is that just what a control? Oh, you're laughing what they were flapping. Not you taking a mic.
Oh my god! In my mind, I'm like, is she
okay?
Is she just trying to make them look ugly on the day? Like I didn't get it.
There's some brides that are like that though.
You know,
some brides don't like it when their friends look
yeah,
better
and
than them.
I'm like, obviously side eye on the day, but obviously speaking to them, I'm like, you know what? Now it makes it because I was like, because I didn't know what conversation. I'm like, this group of friends must be very interesting. What kind of makeup is it? What kind of, like, this, I could tell this lady's uncomfortable with this dress. Like, what kind of makeup is this? Like, because of that, I was very careful. When I was taking my pictures, I didn't take any of all the bridesmaids because I wasn't feeling the makeup. What kind of smoky eye? I don't understand. Yeah, because don't forget, people will automatically assume
that you did it. Ooh.
And that's one thing I tell makeup artists that are very quick to put up brides' pictures, and I'm like, if you're not happy with that makeup, don't put it up. I know we're in this world where everybody wants to look like they're busy.
Yeah.
But if that makeup doesn't look right, it's going to cost you your next job.
Can I ask a question? Do you think a lot of this is tied to people wanting to be viral?
Yes.
From the bride side and even from an MUA side?
Oh, God, yes. Content is like currency these days
king.
And everything. And I tell people, like, there are some days I would work, but I don't really like, maybe I didn't take a good picture or something. I would post. Worst case scenario, just post like my BTS, like my brush or my makeup or whatever. And that's it. I won't put, especially if it's like, okay, let me give you an example. I had this bride, her makeup absolutely stunning and everything. She was like, oh, I had to quickly use the bathroom. Yeah. So while I was getting because then I had my professional, not now we can use our phone. Then we had like our canons and stuff like that. So I was setting. This babe came out. She had gone over her makeup with some yellow powder. I don't understand. She had overlined her lips. I don't know whether she used like a black lip liner instead of like a dark brown. It looked completely different. And she had used that same very almost black on her brows. So her brows now look like block. Thick. And she had done that square thing.
Yeah, them times.
Yeah, so she looked like Nike, you know that Nike.
Yeah, 2016 makeup. That's what they call it on
everything.
TikTok.
And she was like, I'm ready. She was like, I'm ready for my pictures.
No,
I was like, hey, my battery's dead.
Yeah, I'm running late for my next booking.
Imagine I'd put that up.
No, but you know, the thing is, what about if she took a picture of it? Anyway, you're lucky it was before Insta, because imagine she...
most times, if I'm not happy, because most times, like I tell makeup artists, don't argue with the bride. You can give your professional opinion. If like I've had brides say something blue, I want it on my eyes. I want blue eyeshadow. Yeah. And everything. Like even if the bridesmaids are like,
maybe just
something
on
else.
your wedding day.
I've had bride. Her flowers were green. She wanted green.
Okay.
I've had some weird requests. I would say, my professional opinion, if you want it timeless, that's not going to age really well. But until then, maybe your second dress, you could get like a green dress. I would can play up, you know, so I can. But I would not like, nope. If you're not doing this green, I'm not working with you.
Really? Because it's like, if you like it, I love it.
Exactly. So it's more like you're paying for a service, not for you to kind of like, is my way or the highway.
I prefer that though. But I found in the process, not necessarily, and I always want to give this disclaimer because I actually love all my vendors, especially for my white wedding. I found it more so when I'm like getting consulted by. I found a lot of people like wanting to impose what they have done with other brides onto me, and I'm like, okay, but I'm not that babe. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Okay, she likes soft makeup. I don't. I'm a party girl. Which is
why
things.
most times for trials I don't like bridesmaids come with the bride.
Because they impose, it's meant to be like this on Insta.
It's meant to be like this and everything. I'm like, that is what you would wear.
Yeah, not
but
what she would.
I almost feel like at that time they forget that their friend, it's their day.
Important, yeah.
So even if she wears like, massive lashes on a day-to-day basis, on her wedding day, she might want to look different. So normally I always ask the bride, like, what do you want?
Yeah. Yeah,
like it's not about me.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you send me like an image, I think would like, okay, let me give an example. When a bride, wants to book me and tries to explain, because I'm quite visual. So I'll say go to Pinterest, just type black bride or brides of color. Send me all the images, but what I would say is send brides that have a similar complexion to you. So don't be sending me Gwen Stefani when you look like Lupita.
No. I used to find
everything.
that as well, where like someone
so
dark
send
skin
me
would
that.
ask for something that a light-skinned person. It's but this color's literally not going to pick up
It's
on your eyes.
Even
babe.
apart from that, like your features.
True.
Like you send me all this makeup, like the gold on the eye, but sis, your eyes is this tiny.
Or she's got like Botox lips and yours are like teeny weeny, or even your eyes
and
are
everything.
like.
No, we have the ability to make it suit.
Yeah.
It's more or less to manage expectation. You have to tell the bride, so, okay, fine. Is this the color? So what is drawing you to this picture? Is it her eyes? Don't forget she's got massive eyelid space. That's why that eye makeup looks popping.
Yes, that is true.
So we could use the same color on you, but it would not pop like that. So why don't you do this makeup instead? Like this one would pop, same color, but it's going to be slightly different, and stuff like that. So that's what I try to do to manage expectation. Because I feel like, is that what you want? Okay, fine, girl, I got you, I got you, I got you.
But then, okay, so for a bride that's listening, she's engaged, she's loving this conversation. I hope you guys are loving this conversation because I am. She's listening to this. So are you kind of saying, if your makeup artist makes a suggestion, is it best to go with what they suggest?
It depends on what it is. And I'll give you a good example on when I gave a suggestion that was completely different from what the bride wanted. So this was a wedding I had because me and Charis Hair for some street, we did a lot of weddings together back then.
You sound locked in.
So this was with Charis Hair. So the bride, her team was like almost old school. The hairstyle was old school. They even got this old school car and everything. And I saw the dress. And I told her, I said, I think you look better with a red lip.
Okay.
Said, so she wanted them, soft brown, nude lip.
And then you said red, like bold, ruby woo type of red.
Yeah, and I said ruby woo and a liner.
Oh, winged liner.
Yeah, winged liner. Like 920s liner and everything. And I've never, but I looked at her and she's really like deep dark.
Oh, okay.
And everything. I said, nah.
Yeah.
I said, nah. Obviously, I didn't.
But did it work though?
If you see this bride, today she was like, Joy, I keep thanking you for that lipstick.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's good to listen.
Yeah.
Because I just like the hair. When I looked at the car outside, I looked at her. I said, I said, look, everything about the theme of this wedding is calling for a red lip. The only thing is I will make it matte because obviously glossy.
Yeah, you don't want to shine it.
It's gonna look a bit, we have to keep it demure.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Keep it cutesy.
Keep it cutesy. So like a matte red with liner. So all those shimmer, whatever, like we'll tone it down. So like a liner and a deep red. Ooh. Will look stunning.
I can imagine the picture. Ooh,
and she was like Lupita color with the white.
Out from the brides.
Thank you.
And bridesmaids. Ooh,
yummy. Till date, she's like, Joy. I wish I could. I'm going to look for that picture.
Please, I'm going to put it here.
That's true.
Please,
I'm going to
put it right here.
Yeah. I'll send the picture. She looks absolutely stunning.
Oh, that sounds like so. I would say then, as a bride, and recently, I would say then, if you do book a professional makeup artist, I can't vouch for, but I can maybe vouch more so for the professionals. I think it's best for us to listen. Try and read between the lines. If they're making a suggestion, they might just be right. Something I want to go back to, which was in the beginning of our conversation as well, was what you talked about when you started to transition out of bridal makeup. And you spoke specifically about the pandemic. And it's something that's always been on my radar. I've always wanted to do like a conversation with a bride that actually like had her wedding cancelled or all that. But from a bridal or former bridal makeup artist, you said it was like, I don't know if you said it was the worst time or it was a very bad time.
Yeah, it was because then my bread and butter was bridal.
So let's talk about that. How was that for you? Let's go.
It was. I don't want to use the word trauma because trauma is a bit too deep, but psychologically, to go from overbooked to no bookings
overnight. So let's rewind. It was March 2020.
Yeah. And that year was meant to be my busiest year ever. And it's not just cancellations with requests for
Their money back.
Retainers paid back. And by law, you had to give them their money. Because all that, oh my God, you've paid retainer, by law, you could nope. The government was like, give them
Everybody
back
needs to give their money.
Yeah. So you've gone from like overbooked to being broke because all the money that you see in your account is being used. Because don't forget, they've booked you like a year in advance.
Of course.
So you've spent.
Oh, yeah. No. I know. So you're hoping that you...
Yeah. That's when, and I now noticed the people that were still working at that time were people that were working in TV, commercial. They were still working. We were still watching TV.
Oh, yeah, because Netflix
news.
was booming them times. I remember I kicked my feet up under the duvet and I was watching, shows were showing.
Yeah, they were still...
The shows were showing.
TV shows were still going on and everything. So, and I started thinking, because I don't forget with the whole pandemic thing, I think we had like lockdown almost twice.
3 times, I think.
Yeah, and everything. So I'm like, nah. So 2 things happened. One was like my brand, because I've wanted to launch my own brush line for a very long time because I was booked and busy. I don't have time.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm
you
Stockholm.
Did it. You know what? Funny enough, my sister's an influencer. Well, she's an inspiring. She's an influencer. My sister's an influencer, and she actually was promoting your brushes on her page.
Yes.
SQE babe. Yeah,
I'm gonna get her details before I leave and everything.
She was promoting them on TikTok.
So I had time for that. Then
Amazing.
I'm like, okay, moving forward, I do not want to be in this position again where, like, I almost felt like, you know, the whole putting, what's the English now? Where you have like different, I almost felt like I didn't have different source of income.
Yes, I get what you're saying. Like you put all your eggs in one basket.
In one basket,
at that time.
At that time. So now I still do bridal.
Yeah.
So I'm just extremely picky. So I do bridal, I do red carpet, I do commercial, I do editorial, I do a bit of influencing myself. Like I'm working with L'Oreal tomorrow.
Yeah, I love that for you.
And everything. So it's more or less like, so there's something, and it keeps my profession interesting because at one point it was getting boring.
Yeah, you know what? I've been seeing you everywhere. But I think I feel and I don't know if it's because you came on, but I've been seeing you a lot more recently as well. Like just events. Like I even took one of your makeup tips actually. I think it was at L'Oreal.
Okay.
L'Oreal. Oh, you were on stage.
Okay, yeah, that was
about smile lines and that, not to put too much makeup on the
Yeah.
smile line because it stops. I was like, oh wow, so, you know, I'm taking it. I'm learning, and it's nice to see you in that light as well. It's really cool.
I won't lie, I'm actually enjoying being a makeup artist more now.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, because I'm doing different things instead of one thing. So it's more like today I'm with this celebrity, tomorrow I'm on a photo shoot, tomorrow I'm on stage. So
and I can imagine it being less stressful.
Yeah,
as well.
and it keeps the job interesting because one minute you're doing something editorial, 1 minute you're doing something, you know, subtle for red carpet, another minute you're filming in my studio for a brand. So it like, I just feel like which is weird because at 42 now I'm enjoying being a makeup artist all over again.
You know, it's so inspiring and so cool to hear you say this as well because I've just turned 30, so obviously you know there's an age gap, but I was feeling like, oh my God, I'm so old starting this whole influencing
you're not.
Content creation. You know, I look at like the young ones and I'm like, right, they're really doing their thing.
I used to feel like, it's a good thing you brought up age because I used to feel that way because I almost feel like when I hear people talk about how they started being a makeup artist, you hear when I was 19, when I was 18,
that's what I'm saying.
when I was 16.
Oh, they're like, guys, it's my 27th birthday.
Girl, I was
like,
20-something years old when I started. I was married with 6 months pregnant.
That is crazy.
Yeah, when I started. So I'm not one of them 16-year. Obviously, I started, you know, fine-tuning but to use the word makeup artist. So, and one thing I would say is like, you need to be passionate about what you do, whether podcasting, because I almost feel like, and again, not to bring Grace into it, but yeah, it does put some pressure when you're a kind of when you're a particular color.
Is it?
It does play into it. It does. Unfortunately, it's one of those conversations we have to. Again, this is something I'm like everyone keeping their. I'm like, nah, I need to say it out. It's something that will come into play.
But what I want you to specify, and we can edit this part but like, what exactly do you mean?
I would say I faced and which is one of the things that pushed me into commercial. I faced the most racism when I was in editorial.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah,
Surprise,
yeah,
surprise.
and that's when I first
it's connected
started.
to like fashion and all of that anyway. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. I
yeah.
faced the most when I was in that industry, and I think that's probably what started pushing me towards commercial and bridal, because then I was working more with people my color.
Yeah, yeah.
But then again, is a box, because when you start working with people just your color, you get under that box. Oh, she only works on black people.
Exactly.
So it's like you can't win. And when I was in editorial, I was doing my heart, because guess what? I learned how to work on non-black people before black people.
Really?
Yeah, because I went to school.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah,
they
yeah,
trained us on just
yeah.
white models. So
Okay.
yeah, I was very comfortable, working on Caucasian
Oh, that's
skin,
easy.
like and
that's so
everything.
easy. I mean, I feel like it's the reverse anyway. If you can work on black skin, then you can definitely work on.
I learned that
white
first. So,
skin, yeah.
and now that, she only does, black people only and everything. So it's like, at one point she'd be like, I feel like I'm being pulled. Like, should I please these people? Should I please this one? But where is my source of income coming from?
And then you have to put yourself first.
Thank you. So I have to pay attention to whom are putting money in my pockets. That's what it had to come down to, because I want to prove oh God, I spend so much money on photo shoots.
Really?
Yeah, because I'll do photo shoot because I want to use a white model. I want to use an Indian model. I want to use a Chinese model. I want everyone to know that, but the bookings were not coming in to work with those people.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. But you've successfully pushed out that box. And you're here telling the story. And now I'm taking tips, because honestly, it's so inspiring and so encouraging to hear that. It's really, really, I can only imagine what it was like during the pandemic. I would never forget when people were cancelling their weddings and just what do you mean people are not allowed to have weddings? Or they could only have it in the back garden.
Yeah.
Or
Zoom weddings.
My
My younger brother did a Zoom wedding.
Their masks, people wearing
My
masks.
younger brother did a Zoom wedding. Yeah, he did it
How many people did he have in his wedding then? Physically?
No,
Zero.
We're all in our houses. That's the church wedding was by Zoom. Then the reception was after. That's when we traveled, because his wife is Zimbabwean.
Oh, wow.
So we traveled to Zimbabwe for, so it was like a big wedding in Zimbabwe.
Okay,
but the
that's
church,
kind of okay.
yeah, but obviously then,
It's
yeah.
mad.
And I hated that COVID wedding.
Yeah,
So
the
Zoom.
title.
Everybody was in their house.
Zoom.
My husband wore coats. Me, I wore dress. We shot
Makeup.
underneath because
Oh, yeah, you need the waist up. That is crazy.
yeah, it was wow.
I need to get one of those couples on my podcast.
No.
Honestly,
You need to.
know.
Because, and the thing is, as much as I'm feeling frustrated, I can't. You have to also put yourself in their shoes. Their big wedding they've been planning for God knows how many years. Now they are being told, and I won't lie, loads of bride lost money.
I can imagine. I will never forget seeing people fighting venues, saying, "Oh, this venue won't give my money
Yeah.
back." I remember a specific venue had a page dedicated to them. Basically, the couple were trying to cancel them, and there was a whole Instagram page basically exposing how this venue wouldn't give. Loads of venues actually weren't given. Nobody
Even international bookings. Destination weddings were the worst.
Oh, really?
A lot of them were like, nope.
Oh, yeah, because it's different laws as well,
Yeah,
so they can
different
get away
laws.
with it.
Yeah, they can get away, because can you afford to sue them?
No. Do you even know the law as well?
Destination weddings were the worst.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's more or less, as much as you're frustrated, I have to put myself in, because I'm just one. They are dealing with God knows how many vendors.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. I prayed to God COVID never happens again.
Nah, yeah, fingers crossed. But even if you're prepared,
Yeah,
you are prepared.
yeah. I'm just gonna go TV.
You've done so amazing, and I really hope. Okay, fantastic. We're good on time. I really hope that people take a lot from this conversation, because there's a lot of trials and tribulations in your story. Also, from a bridal perspective as well, I think people always listen to how the bride's feeling, and they always feel seen. But I have more empathy today. After listening to you, I have more empathy. What I usually ask for my recent episodes, I ask people a question. I'm going to ask you two questions. So I want to ask, the first question is, to a bride that's currently engaged, what is the best piece of advice that you could give to her or him, couple, right now?
As a makeup artist.
As a makeup artist.
Sis, start your skin routine.
Ah!
Start your skin routine ASAP, because I'm not comfortable with the fact that people tend to kind of almost depend on the makeup artist to give them good skin. Don't worry, when I book this makeup artist, my skin will be flawless. No, it doesn't work that way. Good skin plus good makeup is flawless, because like makeup can cover so many things, but one of the worst skin I'll have to say is textured skin. And that is something only skincare can resolve, because there's no makeup that can smoothen texture on the skin. You can maybe blur a bit, but don't forget, with bridal makeup, it has to look perfect in person and on camera.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing my makeup, in my head, I'm thinking, and because you can't be doing Facetune as you're walking down the aisle.
Yeah, I know, right?
It has to look Facetune in
Yeah,
person.
it's true.
So that's what I say. So for your skin to look Facetune in person, that comes heavily down to skincare.
Okay.
So even if you're not married or even you're just watching this for entertainment, start skincare
So
routine.
your skincare routine.
ASAP. And
You
the
heard
thing
it
is,
here.
it's so basic.
It's so nice as well. Once
Yeah,
you get to that
and most
level.
people think like skincare routine means going to get like, those 10-step Korean skincare. It's it can be as simple as just using the appropriate cleanser, washing your face twice, double cleansing, using the appropriate vitamin C, using retinol at night and stuff like that. Basic, but
And diet and water, can I add
yes,
as well?
oh, especially water.
Water is amazing.
Yeah, water and skin. Like there's this plumpness your skin has if you drink
so much water.
Yeah, because
2 liters a
dehydrated
day.
skin is another skin that is difficult to work with.
Non-hydrated.
No, dehydrated skin.
dehydrated.
Because dehydrated skin comes across oily, but it's not. If you put a mattifying foundation on that skin, the way it would dry out, it would be like film trick.
Oh, it'll be like flaky.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because it's looking shiny. So in your head, you think it's oily skin, but that's a very dehydrated skin. Yeah.
So some of us are thinking that we have oily skin the whole
It's
time.
dehydrated skin, because in your mind you'll be like, but I've used the mattifying foundation, my skin still looks weird. It could just be like you need to up your water intake. So skincare, I cannot preach about this enough. Skincare, there's a reason why it's skincare before makeup.
Okay.
No makeup and skincare.
Well, then there we go then.
Yeah.
Skincare before skincare.
Yeah.
And then
Also,
go
sorry to interrupt
No
you. What I
worries.
would say is like, if you want to go the right route, I would say just even booking like a consultation with a skin specialist, just for them to tell you what you should be taking, instead of just Googling top 10 wherever. I can just most of them do like consultation, like do like a one-off consultation, and they'll just tell you, okay, you need to be using a cleanser that has salicylic acid. Like myself now, believe it or not, I'm prone to spots.
Okay.
So I always make sure anything I use during the day contains salicylic acid, because that helps keep the spots away.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're prone, so there are some particular ingredients. So if you're not
That
sure,
trigger this.
go and speak to a specialist.
Is it inexpensive? Because my listeners, we are the everyday babes. So.
Yeah, my cleanser is like £5.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
not talking about
Space
creme
NK.
de la mer and all them,
Yeah, like
Augustus, what's the name,
yeah.
Bada.
I
No,
don't know
no,
all
no,
these
no,
things. I don't even
no.
know.
No. Yeah, it could be as simple as even L'Oreal vitamin C. It's more like, if you notice, I didn't call a brand, I called ingredients.
Yes. Okay, so we need to be looking at the back of the
Yeah,
label.
basically the ingredient and how many percentage. So like vitamin C now, there's 1%, there's 3%. So
Yeah.
it depends on like the dosage.
Okay.
Which is why I said go to a skin they will tell you, okay, for your skin type, you should be using 3% or you should be using something higher. Yeah, that's what I
I'm
think.
even going to do that. I need to do that. I enjoy skincare anyway.
Yeah.
So for me, that's definitely something I would take. And then the second thing I wanted to ask was, so that was advice to the bride. And then I guess, because I have MUAs listening to my podcast as well. So MUA that is listening and she looks up to you and, inspired by your story, what piece of advice, okay, actually, let me be very specific. Someone that is constantly finding a lot of friction, let's say, with their customers just don't seem to be getting them, customers being brides. What one piece of advice would you give to them to relieve them of the stress that they're currently going through?
Get someone to do your customer service.
Oh, I could have made the whole episode on that.
Yeah, because I've
Yeah.
come to realize, because even when I do my one-on-ones, I've actually come to realize some people are not you're not a people person.
Nope.
And everything. So even when you send them an email, even the way they reply,
It's already
there's already
harsh.
So it's more or less like if you just want to just deal with the client, like your
talent.
this is just to come on the day, but the whole being nice, email, because don't forget with bridal booking, there's a lot of correspondence.
Yeah, it's an experience for us.
Yeah, there's a lot of correspondence that goes before the actual day. So if you know you're not wired for that, get somebody else to do, because that's one thing I realized. Like, and nobody's forcing you to be a customer service. If you know that's not your skill,
Yeah.
you can be amazing. But if you know you're not a people's
Yeah, no, and I agree.
get somebody to do your emails. You know,
Okay.
there are loads of freelance
virtual
and
assistants.
virtual assistants
Yeah.
now. They are a lot. They're not expensive. Just get one of them to handle your email. Just tell them what they need to do. Or if you can't afford that, there's ChatGTP.
I think you can even get AI assistants now. You
Yeah,
don't
and
need a
everything.
physical
Let them
person.
just.
Yeah.
But the thing is, most of the time
You want a
with
real
the
person.
AI, you need to be careful now, because now I can actually tell if a chat is.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah. I was
I
going to
cannot
say,
tell.
I
It looks-
take that back. I take
Yeah,
that back.
I can tell these days.
Because you want it to, from a bride, you want, and I know you've been a bride as well, but I just keep saying myself. Anyway. I want it to be an experience.
Yeah.
You need to be guessing me in the experience. Like, oh my God, congratulations, wow, our latest bride. That's how I want to be feeling. I'll spend
That's
more
why.
money on you.
That's why I said get someone
I will
else.
spend as much as you want me to spend if
Because
you
even,
treat me that
even
way.
not just makeup artists, even hairstylists, a lot of them are not people's, like, there's a lot of abrasion. And most times when I hear some of the stories,
Yep.
in my mind, I'm like, this person is not a people's person.
Yeah.
They need to get someone to handle their correspondence.
Yeah.
And I can assure you, if a lot of vendors, makeup and hairstylists and they just concentrate
Front
on
office.
doing the day,
Yeah.
you won't see a lot of tea
Yeah.
on TikTok.
Well, until then, you know.
There won't be any tea. But a lot of them, they don't like dealing with. Yeah, because you're like, oh, when I contacted her, the way she, and most
yeah.
of the text, because obviously they'll put like a screenshot of the text and it looks rude.
Yeah. I can
So,
confirm.
yeah, so that's why I said I can tell a lot of them are not. And there's nothing wrong. Most of them are just amazing at just working on their job, and there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with it. Like, you have to accept within yourself that
Yeah.
that is not your strength.
Yeah.
So to avoid, spoiling your brand.
Yes.
Like, for example, now even me as a brand owner, I know my strengths, I know my weakness, and I try to get outside help, to sort that out.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Like, I've been working with like a strategist.
Oh,
Because
nice.
my head, Jesus Christ, trying to plan, trying to think ahead. There are people that you can pay, and they will sit down, you just tell them like your vision, and they will come back with like a strategy plan.
That's
Okay,
so smart.
I think this, blah, 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 and everything. So it's more or less just accept that you're not good at this
Please.
and just get help.
We're actually, no, as a brand, I'm begging, please. If more people did this, you don't understand how beautiful the experience, because I don't think people realize that they're actually spoiling somebody's experience when they do behave like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys have, you've heard my episodes already. Like, it's just annoying.
And that's why I would never say, oh, you're not a good hairstylist, like stop doing hairstyling or whatever. I say, no, there's nothing wrong. It's just not you're not
Yeah.
some people have other things they're not good at and everything. Even like this, there's this argument about cornrows or something. It's possible you don't even know how to do it. You just know how to lay wig.
Yeah.
You just have to lay, which is, again, there's nothing wrong.
There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah, so it's more or less, okay, how can I, which is why sometimes you have to, have like budget for things like business advice, business coaching, get like Aisha, because I did that. Okay, let me give you an example. When I launched my brand, I didn't go to business school. And I'm used to selling a service. I've never sold the products before.
And two different things.
Completely two different
I've seen
things.
Jackie
And
Anna
I
talk about this.
started with, I think I started with lashes, and that bombed.
Okay.
Oh, that bombed.
Yeah.
So I now hired a business coach.
You were smart enough to do that. Would
Yeah,
you say your
for 3
corporate
months.
experience helped you though?
Yes, a bit. Yeah, a bit.
Because you had corporate experience
Yeah.
before you transitioned into.
Makeup art, yeah, and everything.
So I feel like-
I have a BSc in accounting.
Well, there we go. But a lot of people are not in that position. That's what I've come to realize and accept as well. A lot of people are not in that position. So I think it's also important to maybe they need to go and get training. Maybe
I did. I had a business coach for 3 months.
no,
It cost me a lot of money, but I knew I needed the help. I can't be. And it was costing me money because I didn't know what I was doing. Because selling a service and selling products are completely two different things. So
Yeah.
I'm like, at the back of my head, okay, fine. Let me save up. Let me get a budget. Let me get a business coach. And look at what she did with my brushes.
Yeah, amazing.
How many people are talking about the lashes?
Yeah.
And this is like a decision I made how many years ago?
No, I saw
You
I
know?
saw them. The brushes are really, really good.
Yeah, so it's like just know your strengths
Yeah.
and don't force.
Yeah.
Don't force. Obviously, I know money is tight at the moment, but so is losing your brand.
True. Well, let's see. Let's see if things change. Hopefully, you've shared your, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed,
Fingers
toes
crossed,
crossed, wigs
everything
crossed,
crossed.
everything crossed.
But Joy, I want to say thank you so much for coming to the Bride's Room today. I am so grateful you came. I'm really, really, really happy that we had this conversation. Candid, transparent. We've laid it all on the table. And guys, I hope that once again you take something from this. Doesn't have to be everything, but something. And until next time, we'll see you later. Oh, and before we go, where can we find you, Joy?
It depends on what you want with me.
Yeah.
But my general website is joyadenuga.com. So that's like my main one. So from there, you can navigate to Bridal. You can navigate to my products. You can navigate to my celebrity bookings and stuff. Then on TikTok, it is my name, Joy Adenuga. Instagram, it is my name, Joy Adenuga. So yeah.
So what I'll put a link in the box below and you guys can click it and then, navigate your way to wherever you want. But yeah, until next time, guys. Bye. Bye. Thank you so much.
How was it?
It was so good.
Oh.
I could talk all day.
Wait, I really want to show you that bra.